I think when I'm coming to this channel, I'm just talking myself.
It's all
Not many
good.
people are. Yeah. I mean,
Happens
today
to me
like weekend.
sometimes. It happens.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah. Especially if
Oh
it's
God.
like late at night when everyone's asleep in America, and I'm the only one up.
What?
Let's see. Stream
Bro,
link.
look for this daily at AVAX. Look for the daily at Solana. What you saw.
Look to Bitcoin for the answers. What's up, buddy? Buddy Langford, tuning in. You are first, my friend. Let me pump out an announcement here. At everyone, I'm live.
On YouTube?
It's through Discord. Maybe I'll do a Twitter post just to say, "Oi, I'm live." That's actually a good idea. Oi.
Oi. Twitter is an X now. X Twitter? The shitty
There we
Bakura.
are.
Disgusting. Oh my god. If it is coming, pulling back down now, I will be mad at this freaking, oh my god, coin, because I just exit my trade. And if it is really pulling back down, I will be like crazy. The daily for AVEX looks absolutely amazing. It's like very bullish. I think it's gonna break out somewhere in between if it is first and need to clear all these local highs, which is like 22.80 $80. If it really does, it's gonna be like crazy. It's gonna make a new high at like $25. So
What's up,
it's kind of like
Ernesto? Ernesto is in the chat.
where's our
Let's
Ernesto?
Mars. D Johnny 55. Or they're just in the YouTube comment section. I'll share my screen in Discord too, just to keep it. Or give people the option that are in here that don't know what the hell I'm doing. Don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Did you hear about the UFO yesterday in India? Let's talk about that.
A UFO?
Yeah,
Sounds
it shut
good.
down the airport. Shut down the airport at Nepal.
At where? Sorry.
Nepal.
Oh,
I can't pronounce it. It's not me trying to make a pun.
which country?
India. We just said that.
Ah.
Are you?
I didn't hear that.
Hi, Rick.
Your mic is cutting out a lot.
Oh.
Also, you are far from your mic. And
It's
what
either that
exactly
or
happened in India that I don't even know?
an Indian UFO. Apparently.
Yeah, shut down some airport or something.
Where is it? Where's the Indian UFO?
I have to look
Nepal
that
or
up.
something.
Nepal?
Yeah, look it up. It's all over the news.
Those news are bullshit.
Even if you were born yesterday, you could have seen it.
They don't have any news to like publish, so they just made up with so many different kind of news that people can hook up and they got some TRP. Because today, India present the Cricket World Cup. That's the biggest game in the Southeast Asia, even in this region. So you don't even have idea like how crazy people are about cricket. You are not even on soccer or let's say rugby. So that happened yesterday, and we don't even know. I can look for it, but if that does, I could already know about this shit. Even for in Naples,
Oh,
let's see if I can find something.
I'll be back. I'm just gonna do a rundown
Well,
on Bitcoin, and then I'll come back in here.
I heard it did happen.
All right, let's have a look at Bitcoin for starters. What's up, YouTube? What's up? INJ looks nice. Okay, yeah, I might have a look at some alts after I get through with Bitcoin first. But in the last stream, which was a couple of days ago now, I think we were talking about the ranges that Bitcoin is currently in. What's up, Donnie? How you going, man? So I found that, yeah, Bitcoin's been in this consolidation box here, and it leveled up. It got above, it's used it, back tested that old resistance as support. Now this was a bit of a dirty retest. This actually shot down and got back in touch with 35k, so it's a bit of an outlier, just as this was an outlier from the range. So rather than trying to like bind this price action into horizontal rectangles like this, it is a bit more of an ascending channel, which we are still very much in. So with that being said, let me just reverse this a bit. Hey, Donnie, spread love and money. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Hope you're doing well, Donnie. So with the ascending channel in mind, you can see there is a lot of evidence for the fact that this trend is alive, no doubt. You've got a low here, higher low, higher low, higher, higher. You've also got progress on the ways back up. High, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high. So this is a very short-term progression after this huge dump out that we had. So my only fear with it is that this could be some kind of like short-term rising wedge formation happening. Something that looks like this. And then, you know, the idea, if it was textbook, would be that we bounce in this like that and then fall out the bottom and get back in touch with the support side of this ascending channel, which could actually be a threat to come down. But I don't know, my sentiment has shifted over the last 24, 48 hours, because if you remember, I was talking about like more of a chance of moving down outside of this this drop and consolidation. But now that, I don't know, just seeing the last few hours of price action here and the fact that we've come up, go down to the 15-minute chart. Let me delete that triangle. Let's go down time frames. Just, yeah, seeing this last few hours here come up here and make a new high, it just shows there's still a lot of energy left. There's a lot of optimism still. This level got defended pretty well. The buyers stepped in earlier here, and then earlier at this little double bottom here. So that's like, whenever an opportunity presents itself, people are coming to the table and buying it, and it's getting supported. That is evident in this price action here. Not to mention the progress of the highs. So you've got a high here, and it's just progressing up. So Donnie's saying, want to see something cool? Yeah, dude, I do. Let me see, where are you, Donnie? Let me jump into your channel for a bit, if you don't mind. I'll jump in. Hola. What's happening, Donnie?
What's happening, buddy?
Yeah, just thought I'd throw on a YouTube stream and catch up with where I think the market is and where it's headed.
So there was something that we've been playing with over here in this group was Bitcoin fib chart, right? I've been exploring the world of the WD GAN thing, right?
Right.
I want to show you a chart with a run from the 3880. Okay, give me
Sure.
just a second. I'm gonna put it in general so you can see it, and if you want to show your guys.
Yeah, if you want, if you're happy to, I can share your live stream through my YouTube channel if you want. If you're cool with that, you can do it live.
I'll go live here.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready and I'll bring it across.
Yep,
Do it live.
I'm live.
All right, let me just line this up with the windows. Yeah, I might as well just go for the screen like that. I think that should be visible there. Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, so what I've done is, I've been diving deep with the WD GAN stuff, right?
Yes.
And we learned this thing called the square of 36. And I know it looks mad crazy when you see it, right? When you see it zoomed, what in the world have you done?
Right, it's busy. Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's very, very busy. But if you'll notice, we learned a schedule here, right? So the March 21st through March 20th is your year cycle. We learned that. We learned that 20th is going to be about your center point. And if you noticed how well the vertical timings work throughout this whole system here, how close we are with our vertical timings. So one of the things that I was working on was, this is from the 3880. So if you look back, how far that is, and I was like, why would we not use the 3880, right? Because we're used to just using local lows, right, for our fibs. But then I came in, and when you come in on this on a real close look here, look how close this works out with this fan.
Right. That vertical green line, orange line there.
Yeah, and so this is your vertical. This is your inner circle. On the other side of the circle, you fell out. You fell down to support. You're back above. This would be your 0.5. Okay, so we'd be looking at this as a 0.5 right here. We're above the 0.5. Right.
That's cool. I like that. So we've got some clearance up ahead.
Right, and if we play this, according to the way the channel plays, if we wind up playing to the top of this box, maybe to the top of this channel before we fall back out for a retest, we could be looking, possibly 43. But I'm with you. There's always the chance that you could pull back to that 30K support first.
Right.
I'm looking, if we follow the box to the circle here, that puts us around 30,800. So, and then we shoot back up after. So there's a possibility to go either way right here. But if you follow market structure the way it's showing right now, it looks like upside, in my opinion.
So with the GAN stuff, like with the circles especially, like is that sort of attempting to find points of inflection or points of pivoting or like just activity or?
Correct.
Because I haven't really looked into it before.
So the power of 45, right? So, and you've heard me discuss it before. Each one of these lines is 45-degree lines, whether it's a 1 to 4, 2 to 4. You've heard all those numbers, right? And we see them, and we just never understood quite what it was. Well, what it is price in time meets that point. So when a price meets this point, like right here, it met time and price were equal, and it reversed, right? So, and it's the same way with when you get to a circle, it is a special time, and we're learning that it is planetary. because these cycles, we're actually going back and pulling these cycles from previous cycles. This run that we're looking at right now is pretty close to identical day-to-day basis as the 2015 and the 2016 run. I mean, it's almost identical.
I like that because that produces an amazing bull market.
Correct. So what if you go back and you look at that cycle, right? You get a big spike up, and then you get a pullback to test support, and then you continue, right?
Yeah.
And that's what And if you don't mind, I would like to show you something while I've got you here.
Yeah. Go for it.
So where this comes from is from my Gann chart, right? And I'm gonna show you the square of 9 chart.
Okay.
So on this chart, this is part of the the whole Gann setup right here, right? And you can actually cycle through days. And with this chart, it gives you the lunar. So right here is your moon. It's at 319 degrees. So I've got my triangle and square. And so I'm able to find my support and resistance through this.
Wow.
So earlier today, we were here and we used this as, and then I had targets. I got a target of, that 37,280. So that's your support resistance lines right there. These major cross red lines here.
Right.
So, and this has to do as the moon turns. So I can come up here on this chart and I can cycle through the days or through the hours. But as I go through the days, I look at things starting to shape up. We see, stuff to show up on the chart, right? It's starting to show up across our price chart, right? And then we go into like the 22nd, 23rd. Oh, wow. Now we got a lot of stuff showing up on the chart. But you notice the moon is all the way over here now at 16 degrees because as you go through time, the moon travels around this. So you got lunar pull. One of the things that we're learning is that with the lunar pull, this is the Aquarius is your low point in the chart. And if you notice today, we had a big pullback. Well, I say big, but if you're on the short time frame, 5 minute, you had a big red candle when the moon hit 315 degrees today. That was your bottom. And ever since then, we've kind of been trailing up.
Like rising back.
Your moon, right. And so your moon peaks in Leo over here, okay? So we follow that around. We see all this crazy stuff happening on the chart. The last time we seen this was when we seen that volatility down. But the moon was also coming down. You follow me?
Yeah. What part of the planet is it like bearing from, like for time? Have you got it like set to 0-100 hours, or is it based off?
So I'm set
Eastern?
on my local time, my local market.
Okay.
New York time is the way I'm set up right now.
I see. Yeah.
So when I was calling for the big move on 13th through the 16th, we were seeing all kinds of action. You got Moon and Mars lining up. You've got who else is here? You've got Venus and Saturn lining up. You've got Mercury and Uranus lining up. Mars and Saturn. But during that cycle, we had the moon coming down through here.
Yeah.
Instead of up. So you had a falling, right? Because we went into a no moon and now we're in a waxing, and we coming up on the full moon. Is it full moon or new moon? New moon on the 27th. But if you notice, as we go through the day, we're on the 23rd there, right? 24th. What all this means is so new to me, Rick, I can't tell you. But you see this stuff pop up on the chart. So it's telling me that there's something major happening on the 24th. Okay.
Wow. Okay. I'll write that down. As we
go through, yeah. So your moon's up here. Your moon's all the way up here now in Gemini, and so we're getting close to peaking out whatever performance we're going to do, because then you'll start your down cycle again.
Then descension.
This is what we're testing right now. This is
I
just some of
see.
the stuff we're testing.
How did
So,
you find this
yeah.
tool, like this thing? How did you get
Through
onto
Feather.
that? Through
Feather.
who? Oh, Feather?
Yeah, she brought me this tool.
Oh,
She
cool.
seen that I was doing GAN stuff, and so
Yeah.
me and her became buddies. And man, we've been bouncing stuff back and forth off each other. She is a wealth of knowledge, man. What
Wow.
a wonderful mind.
That is cool.
Well, I thought you would like to see that. I figured if anybody would
Definitely, man.
appreciate stuff like that,
Yeah,
you would like
I'm
to see that.
open-minded to different tools and different strategies. If you can find correlations and, you know, like event horizons and things like and find activity off that, then that's cool.
Well, just make a little mark on your calendar there. Donnie said, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, expect volatility.
Yeah,
I can't
dude.
tell you up or down. Of course, you know, I'm hoping bullish, right? I'm long on like
Right.
5 or 6 different bags right now. But,
Well,
you know, just keep it in mind. 22nd, 23rd, 24th, according to this, we're going to see volatility.
Some action, right? Because, dude, I even just without that, I like Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays as just trading days because the stock market tends to make its most impressive moves from what I've seen on, like later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. Mondays and Tuesdays still move, but just on average. I mean, that's not to say that Monday and Tuesday can't do anything spectacular. It's just the general, on average, performance is.
Well, we got holiday this week too, as well. So you got Black Friday this Friday. You've got Thanksgiving this week. So it's so funny that shows up on those days. You know, the highly volatile days are on the days that we're closed, supposedly.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Well, I'm definitely keen to see how it shapes up. I'll touch base with you again, like around those times, and see how it's shaping.
For sure,
Sounds
stay in
good.
touch. I'd love to see everybody get in on this and hey, let's do that.
Yeah, for sure. So we're like what, an hour and a quarter is left of today, and then that is the Sunday candle done and dusted. Let's see what the Monday 0 hours can bring. Hopefully something good. It's already like gearing up. It's pointing to the stars right now. The way it's curling up here and potentially going to get a run, I reckon. But look, there is a lot of space to the top of the channel, and I think a test of the top of this ascending channel is would be definitely probable. Like, it's in the realm of probability. It's not a long shot calling that impossible. I think we're going to get some kind of potential new high coming, and then maybe we do get another rejection back into the channel, like the lower half of the channel. But I guess I see price respecting this channel until we get a breakout. Like until this channel fails, which it will at some point. There's going to be a point where this channel is no more, dictating the direction. But it's definitely on some kind of ramp.
All the way in the history of Bitcoin, you always go back and back test, right? You always go back and retest before.
Seems to be. And I know that a very repeated behavior of Bitcoin is that it likes to swing fail. So it likes to come up to a previous high and maybe even just nudge above it before totally pivoting and going the opposite way. And a lot of people get caught up in that, even like me included. So I'm trying to wise up to it now, like, be a bit more, cautious of when a high is being tested, because more often than not, it respects the resistance.
With the swing fail that you're talking about,
I was
like, the 0.5 is, that 42K, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, why? Everybody's like, we're going to go through the 0.5, we're going to the 618, we're going to 51,000. I'm like, that's great and all, but that's a lot of digging from here. So, and that's what made me look out bigger and look at the 3880, and start pulling fibs from there and build that chart the way I did.
Yeah.
Just so I had a comparison of the two. We actually wind up between, I think it was 41.6 and 43.4.
Wow. Cool. Dude, I'm all for it. I'm all for going there. When I zoom out on the daily chart and get a retracement from all-time high all the way down to the FTX low in November, I'm also like keeping an eye on that fib situation, because coming up and beating the 382 was the first hurdle. The fight, like you said, the 0.5 being at 42k. I think, dude, it's within reach. It's not even that far away now. Like it's just one more little push to test it, to at least test it, and then let's see what happens. If we can keep the momentum and even go higher, like I guess I feel like there's still a lot of caution in the market too. We're not just gunning up. Like it hasn't gone parabolic yet, but it's certainly warming up. You can see like just the way it's arced up in this last push here in late October into November. Very nice push. And then up through this rising wedge, which if you look at it logarithmically, it's still within that rising wedge. We're still very much inside of it. So that is interesting. That's curious. But could we do something like we did back here during the COVID dip? Because if you look at the COVID dip, we had a rising wedge as well, which, textbook tells you that there's going to be a bearish outcome to a rising wedge, but we blasted through it and we, off we went, up and away. So that tells me that, hey, maybe it was more of like an inverse head and shoulders. Like if you call that the top, the local top from back here in 2019, we had a downtrend. We came up, made a shoulder, made a head here, and then made some look like kind of janky right shoulder, like this. And our neckline was like roughly like that. And we hit that target of coming up out of the so if you take this as a measure from the head to the neckline, like here, and then take that to the breakout point, look at that. You see Bitcoin hit some traffic right there, right at the measured move. And that was in line with the previous all-time high. So it's amazing how all these things marry up. So if that's the case, what kind of do we have an inverse head and shoulders that's still playing out, or has it already played out and we're just now in an uptrend, like a natural uptrend? Could be, because this one certainly seems to has made its point, I guess. Whether you call this the neck and then that the head and then this the other, sorry, this the shoulder, that the head, that the other shoulder, and then this the neckline, and then this is the measure. You take that to the point of breakout as a target. We've already hit that target back here, and we're actually exceeding the target now. It almost lined up with the 382, that neckline, that measured move. Pretty cool.
The head and shoulders on that circle chart that I showed you, that's 180 degrees because 360 degrees is your circle.
Right.
When you go to the point, a price that is 180 degrees away, and then a complete rejection back down, and then you go sideways for a while, and then back all the way to the 180 back.
Right.
That's how you get your head and shoulders.
That's cool.
Is it cool if I post my link?
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Go for gold. Not a problem. How many people we got in here? 23 people listening. What is up, guys? Good to have you tuned in. So, look, I think with market sentiment right now, there's no doubt we're bullish. We're in an uptrend. Saying that kind of stuff felt irresponsible earlier in the year because we had just, we had been ravaged by a bear market. And it felt dangerous, even suggesting any upside potential, right? But I feel like we're through that cloud of pessimism. It was a real game changer when we got above 31, 32. That was a paradigm shifter. That's like, ooh, this isn't just some kind of relief activity. This is a trend. This is breaking ground here. Let me bring out the oscillators. I mean, sorry, not the oscillators. The moving averages. I'll turn the EMAs off. We'll just look at the simple moving averages, the 200 and the 50 on the daily. So I'll turn log off. Logarithmic is off. Let me hide drawings as well. All right. So we're strictly looking at moving averages and price. So we had a beautiful golden cross back here in February. Now remember that golden crosses and death crosses are something that looks at what happened in the past because it's backward looking. That's how it gets its information. 200 moving average is looking at the prior 200 candles that are on the chart. As with the 50, it looks at the previous 50. So it needs past data to formulate its result on the chart, and that's what you're looking at. Much like a lot of indicators and tools, they look at the past. They need data to draw a conclusion. So with that being said, I guess golden crosses and death crosses aren't necessarily representative of the future. It's more about momentum and a shift in the tide. So it can be really good at nailing a pivot or confirming a pivot. So this pivot back here happened in February, but we know that it happened all the way back in November. So this is just how delayed reporting on that pivot was, because it waits for confirmation. I guess that's the way you could look at it, is that it waits for the price to actually follow through with the move before reflecting it. So with that being said, where are we at now? We've had this was a bit of a death cross back here on the daily. We actually got thrown back under, but this recent push has thrown us back on track with a golden cross. So the daily can be quite noisy as far as golden and death crosses. Much the same as look at back here in 2019 leading into 2020. We had a lot of noise. There was a lot of mixed signaling. So until it finally got on track, it got that golden cross, and then it just did not cross back down until after the all-time high at the time of 65,000. We crossed down, death cross. I thought that was the beginning of the bear market. That death cross there on the daily. I thought, yep, that's it. You know, that marks the end of this cycle high. But then bang, it came up and did something that it hasn't done before, I believe. I don't think it's done like a big old double top for an all-time high. It's always been a blow-off top, so to speak. So that was a first to see that. That was cool. So yeah, Bitcoin can do things different to previous activity. You know, some people say, oh, be careful of saying this time's different. Well, sometimes this time can be different. So Bitcoin's still new. It's still young. It's not very old. There's not a lot of history to go by, especially when you're zooming out on the daily and weekly, mainly the weekly time frame. Like, we just need more data to see the behaviors. But speaking of the weekly, though, look at this. It's actually suggesting that we may come up and do a golden cross on the weekly, because I remember this was a bit of a meme back in February, was the weekly death cross. People were like, what does this mean? You know? And like I was saying before, these death cross and golden crosses are a report on the history of the price action. So if something devastating happened 6 months prior, that is what you're seeing reflected on the weekly crosses. Because look, all that this is reporting on was the bear market. Like, that's what caused this dip. So we are recovering up. I feel like, damn, like it's just the fashion that it's come up like this is very, there's a lot of momentum there, and you can't ignore that. But yeah, like you said, this week, Donnie is going to be very important. I feel like so many eyes are going to be watching Bitcoin in this coming week. And I feel like people are sort of keeping an eye on the danger, because like we don't want to pivot. You know, if we're in longs, we want to see continuation, not a rejection and like another major drawdown. Because that means we have to either take profits here or like, you know, reposition or wait. It just, you know, it puts us back into the waiting room. Like we have to wait until we get that test of these higher levels. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm trying not to be too fixed with my outlook. Trying to stay adaptive to the conditions that come forth, that present themselves.
One of the things I've done is I set up take profits, right? I already took some profits on some of the altcoins that were done their first pass, right?
Yep.
So I got me a little spending money so I could buy this little dip, and then, you know, I'm just setting take profits as I go. I'm not trying to get real greedy, but now that I've got this kind of resource and feel pretty confident with it, I'm just being conservative on my take profit, take points, and, you know, being mindful of a pullback that it could be one of those big engulfing red candles that just totally takes back everything we did. So that I'm just trying to be mindful of that and be prepared so that I'm not so front loaded.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, look, because I'm building a big bag in Bitcoin. Like, that's my primary position, like my lion's share, I guess. I want to get some altcoin exposure as well. I've got to start acting on it before I miss the window. But you know, looking at it from that perspective, I'm okay with another drawdown if need be. Like if we come and revisit 32 or 30 or even the high 20s, that's okay, because that's more opportunity to load up and build those positions a bit bigger. Because I feel like there's a very strong case for a really nice bull market next year, you know, leading into and after the halving. just like every previous halving there's been. There's been a lot of optimism around that event. Not to mention the ETF thing, the ETF factor. The SEC can do all they want. They can delay it, they can reject them, but it seems to be there's a trend that they're going to keep throwing these applications at them. They're going to be busy going through these applications. And it's like, you know, it has to give way at some point. They're not just going to give up putting forward ETF applications, you know, because they want one. Someone has to land it, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens. I feel like, yeah, the SEC are playing like suppression games. You know, they're keeping things suppressed. They're buying time in the crypto market. That seems to be what's implied. It's like their buddies ain't done buying yet or something. And they gotta keep it under control until the floodgates get opened and all that liquidity comes in. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, look, a 0.5 retest doesn't seem irrational. I think that's quite possible. 42k, 42.2. And if it's super optimistic, you could even visit the 618 fib level, the golden ratio. 48.5k, $48,500. Very, also like not irrational. Like that's not crazy, I don't think.
Oh, it's crazy.
I mean, look, dude. Bitcoin. Yeah, it's Bitcoin. We've come from 15.6 all the way up to $38,000 within a year, inside of 1 year. It's pretty cool. Actually, how long has it been? What day was the bottom?
November 16th.
November 16th. So we've already eclipsed the bottom.
Correct.
In time. I don't know. At least with this chart, the data that I have on this chart, the very bottom for me was the 21st. So tomorrow for me, 24 hours from now is the bottom. Is 12 months from the bottom. Yeah. What a year. It's actually been a really nice year. I've got all of it on my chart right now. So there's first candle you see on the left is the 1st of January. And yeah, there's been some great moves, but can you see the majority of the activity is choppy. Like you're in a range for the majority of the time. Like range bound, like here's a range here. There's another range here. We're sort of, this is complex. Like this could be, I mean, it's early to call it a range, but maybe we get something like that until we get, you know, we've got that breaking out. So you can see like the transitory periods, like where it's transitioning between ranges, is very brief. Like it only lasts a few days of actual like gunning movement. So it's like you have to identify the range and hedge and, like, you know, make your bets inside the range in preparation for that movement, you know.
Go measure each one of those moves, see how close they are.
In a percentage or price or?
Yeah, percentage. Like what is your percentage on each one of those step ups right there?
Yeah, because look, everywhere you take a measure, see, like this one here roughly is about 47%, but then obviously the price is fixed there. Like that's a $7,752 move, but when you move it up, it diminishes in performance. So it changes. But however, if you take a price measure like this, like let's say from like here to about there, I'll make it fat. Okay. That's where it becomes like, okay, look, we're getting similar movement on each push before it sort of like starts to lose momentum and chop. But this one's been different. This one has been different from the previous. It's the most similar would be this one here. That move up.
Rick, how'd you find your way in here?
Oh, dude, I know in here. I know Donnie. I just haven't come in here.
This was supposed to be a secret. This was supposed to be a
secret society. Hey, secret society.
Rick here too. What's up, guys?
Hey, mate, what's happening, Isaac? Yeah, like
What's up, Rick? What's up, Crazy? What's up, Donnie? What up, bro? What up?
Yeah, we've just been discussing the move and the week ahead. I'm doing a YouTube stream right now. That's why I sound different, probably. I'm speaking in my like.
You ready? You ready for rockets or what?
Yeah, always.
When I say rockets, I mean like nukes to end the world.
Oh, right. No, I'm never ready for nukes. I don't want a nuke to happen. That would be crazy. But look, man, I want to keep a healthy amount of my like counter sentiment on the table too, like of what could happen on the flip. Because look, this is what happened the last time we looked something like this. We took a leg down. It didn't kill the uptrend, but we did. We took a leg down. We relaxed back into the channel or the rising wedge here. So you have to keep just because it happened in the past like that, it doesn't mean it has to happen again like that. You got to be careful getting caught in the have tos and the it has to do this. Yeah, it doesn't have to do anything. It does what it wants to do. Like the market will take it where it wants to go.
Take what it gives you, right? Take what it gives you. Don't be an asshole, right? Don't try to force your will on the market.
That's right, because it's going to wreck you. Exactly. If you're too fixed, you're going to get disappointed at some point. If you're too locked in any one way, you have to stay adaptive. You have to adapt to the conditions. And if Bitcoin's breaking resistances, you better get bullish. And if it starts breaking supports, okay, then you got to reconsider. Like, and the quicker the better.
Yeah,
the quicker
you have to be able to understand, Rick, right? You have to be able to understand market conditions, and you have to be able. And I know it's crazy, but you have to be able to read a chart, man. You have to be able to read a chart.
It's
helps. That simple.
It helps. It helps to understand market structure. I feel like structure is the be all end all. Like, you have to start there. That's primary. Your primary understanding.
Simple. And it's simple too, right? When you look at structure, right? It's just support and resistance. Higher highs, lower lows. That's it, man. It makes it really simple.
I've boiled it down before, like on real simple terms. The market is to me, like simplified, it's lows and highs. How do you get from a low to a high? You don't get lower lows. That's not going to take you to a high. You have to get higher lows. It doesn't matter about the highs. The highs can go anywhere they want to go, but look, the lows have to be making progress. For you to get anywhere upward, the lows have to increase. As soon as you lose your lows, you've broken structure, and that's a downtrend.
Yep.
The highs don't matter. The highs don't define a downtrend. It's the lows.
Isn't it crazy though that it's that simple? You know,
it is that simple.
It's analysis paralysis, man. People, we plug in 95 indicators and we try to think that we know, the way that the wheel was created. But in reality, all you need to know is just structure. That's it.
Rick, just let you aware that you got some folks in your YouTube channel that wanted to see if you had eyes on AVAX.
AVAX. I can look at AVAX. Yep.
We got Serrano in here too now. Let's go.
Don't forget that a lot of people, market structure may be easy, right? But a lot of motherfuckers in elementary school and middle school couldn't do multiplication or division.
Right. There you
Don't
go.
you remember fucking James and Johnny? You had to wait for him to finish the multiplication tables, so you guys could go to
Right.
recess early. Fucking kooks.
Oh no.
Hey, my best friend's name is Johnny, so I prefer that you don't use that name.
Okay, Jose.
Yeah. Anyway, look. It's
AVAX.
what do you
AVAX.
call? Yeah, I'll open up AVAX, but what do you call it? Priorities. There has to be a priority number one. Like what do you look at first? What is priority? And for me, that's structure, market structure.
That's right.
Like if you're looking at other things first and then, oh, hang on a minute, we forgot about market structure. Like then it's just, yeah, it's backward. Anyway, I'll open up AVAX.
Then it's opinion, right? If you're not looking at structure, right? If you're not looking at trend, then it's just opinion and it's just psychological emotion, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're not looking at structure or trend, then you're deferring to your emotions.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, and also, TA isn't about prediction per se. It's about, like, it's not a game of predictions. It's more about reading what's happened and then positioning yourself into a spot that is not dangerous, if to make it as simple as I can. Like you don't want to be like buying into like resistances or shorting at supports, you know, expecting further. It's easy to do that. I think a lot of people get burned expecting more out of the market, because if you get evidence of one direction and if you buy into the top part of it, you get trapped. It's so easy to fucking get trapped, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was it? AVAX. Avalanche.
That's a beautiful chart too, AVAX. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I wish I bought AVAX at the lows. I mean, I have friends that did. I mean, I just wish I was part of that group. That's all I have to say.
Let's see. What are we? 45 minutes away from the daily. Dude, it's look at the way it's cupped. Like I'm only looking at the lows. I'm kind of, the way I see it, like I ignore the noise and just look at the lows, like the shape that gets carved like this. Look at that rounding on AVAX there. I'm on the hourly chart and I'm zoomed out a little bit. But yeah, that's carved out nicely.
It's like a rump little booty, right?
Yes, sir. It is. And look, once again, market structure. Let's boil it down. Let's simplify. Boom, 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 boom. And then look, oh, what now? Like, we have not lost structure. We're gunning to continue the trend, right? That's what I see. Until, like you say, Crazy, until proven otherwise, like until you get what's the word? Invalidated.
Confirmation or invalidation.
Yeah, invalidation. Until you get invalidation, you should be respecting the trend. You shouldn't be trying to call the top.
That's
like
right.
Saying that was the top is a guess, because you don't have the information to call that a top yet. You know, when you like, let's say this is what happens on AVAX. Let's say that is what happens, and then you do that. Then now that you have the data, you can say, okay, we got ourselves a lower high and we broke the downward structure and got a lower low. So we have pivoted, and this becomes the pivot point. So people that try to call tops and bottoms, it's a guess, because you don't have the information in front of you yet to be able to identify and call it what it is. So I guess with that being said, what was the moment on Bitcoin's? Ooh, Bitcoin's moving too, by the way. What was the moment on Bitcoin's chart that gave you the information that you needed to say that we're out of the downtrend?
17.6.
Yeah.
Very firm and healthy.
For me, this high that was set in, like this point here, it was part of the down structure. Because look, the highs matter. The highs are what define a downtrend. You've got your all-time high, you got a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then the last lower high. Arguably, this was a lower high as well. But look, if this was the last lower high on the chart and we got higher than it, that means we've broken structure to the upside.
Isn't it great? Isn't it crazy that it could be simpler? That it could be simplified that easily, right? Just with trend lines that you can understand, and it's very critical for people that are learning it on the macro. That it's very easy to understand with just trend lines that you've broken structure to the upside or the downside, right?
Yeah,
it's beautiful, 100%. Man. I mean, how easy can it get? It's very elementary.
It's good. It is. It's like you shouldn't be talking against structure at all until it gets broken. Structure is like your foundations.
That's right.
So right now, like, I mean, obviously every time frame can be different. Like if you're down on the minute chart, yeah, you can find down structure in an uptrend. Like it happens. Like, look, here's one here. Here's down structure. There's no doubt about it, right? It happened. It's on the chart. But the thing about the minute chart is it gives you down structures and up structures all within a day, like many of them, right? So what does that tell you? It tells you that the minute chart is only going to give you information that's important for intraday scalping trading. So why am I looking at that for overall market sentiment? I'm on the wrong chart. Like I have to zoom out.
And how many minutes? This is a good point too. So if you're on the 15-minute, right? How many 15-minute candles are inside of a daily candle?
Good
a
question.
Lot. I don't know the number.
Yeah, it's
There's
four
a lot.
times.
So
it's 4 times 24. So
right. So so that's how
you can
many
do
times
it. You can do it.
96.
But if you're scalping like Serrano, Serrano's in here and he does his own thing. This is not, to shit on people that trade on the lower time frames. You have to have an objective, right? You have to have an objective. But the problem is that most retail traders, they will trade on the 15-minute for what they want to see on the daily, right? So you have to understand that the time frames are very critical. So if you're looking for a move on the 1 minute, you're in and out, within an hour or two. But if you're, how many 15-minute candles are in a daily candle? If you're trying to swing, you don't want to be caught up in, 15 times 4 times 24 for that move, You got to figure out, what that is for you.
Yeah, that's totally. All just adjusting what you do to however you do it. Just however, people are all different. But the biggest problem is a lot of people like to wake up and go, "It's bullish today. I'm longing," or they wake up, "It's so bearish. It can't get any more bearish. I'm gonna long it."
I like how you made the bearish part sound a little gay. I like that.
Sometimes it is.
There you are. Well,
but I mean, yeah, it's just people, man. That's why the whole market's just playing people. It's just poker, man. Just outplaying
them. It is.
Outplay them, outlast them.
It's fishing. Hey, Serrano, it's fishing though, right? So you go out. I know you know fishing. If I know anything about fishing. You, I know you know fishing.
Disrespect fishing. No, I've got
go ahead. You're casting your lines out, right? You're casting your lines out, and if you don't catch a fish today, you lost money on your bait. You lost money on any fuel you spent, right?
Your time
doing it.
Yeah.
But if you catch the big fish, or even if you catch a few little fish, then you won, right? So it's fishing for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that works. 100%. Yeah. Personally, I just like the Texas Hold'em analogy or comparison the best. So the closest related thing to this, because trading is gambling, in my opinion, and that's why I fucking love it.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna play your hand, right? But for me, it's weird because if it's close to gambling, then you're kind of giving the house the advantage immediately. I think if you think of it like fishing, and you don't have to, of course, but that's what I do. Then you think of it as you cast your lines out. They might get snagged. You might not catch anything, and that's fine. But it was a good day, regardless, right? And if you catch a big one,
100%,
beautiful.
Oh yeah. Well, sorry, I'm just replying to something.
What do you think? What do you think about AVAX? You never said what you think about AVAX for your viewers.
Yes. Oh,
come
dude.
on, Rick.
Okay, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, to me, always at all times is a traffic light. If Bitcoin's doing well, the alts will love it. So it's a green light. So for me, AVAX is gonna be making new highs. Give it, either in the next couple of hours or, just give it time. Tell you what, it's not gonna do is make new lows. It's not gonna break structure if Bitcoin is positive.
I agree.
If Bitcoin's strong, AVAX has every reason to continue trending like it has been. So there you go. That's my analysis on AVAX. Doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. It only takes like 30 seconds.
You can look at total 3 as well, right? You can look at total 3 as the whole index of altcoins, right? And you can look at total 3, and the structure of total 3 is not bearish. So these altcoins have woken up. They've woken up, until you see structure break for the altcoins as an index. You shouldn't be bearish on altcoins as an index, right?
Right.
It's just like looking at the SPY or the NASDAQ or whatever you're looking at, right? As an index, as a whole, the market is showing you that it wants to improve, right? It wants to grow in numbers, right? So until it shows you the breakdown of structure, then it only has one other option.
The only I can see there's a pivot that happened on Total 3 back in August of last year. There was a pivot high of 453.8 billion. We're only 417 billion at the moment, so there's still room to move just on that. Like testing that would still produce a really nice move on the alts. But just because there's a resistance there doesn't mean that the resistance can't be broken as well, right? So it's just a, hey, pay attention to this level, respect that level, because it has the potential to reject. You want to be aware of that. You want to be aware of your resistances and supports. But look, it is looking good, because look, we broke this high. We broke this pivot high that happened in April. We're above the pivot high from October of last year. We're making very good progress, but yeah, it's not.
Compare that, hey, Rick. Compare that with bottoming structures in the altcoin market in previous cycles too, as well. That's something to bring to light as well.
Definitely, like you've got this one.
These are bottoming structures that these charts are showing you. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna. It doesn't mean that we're just gonna go up and everything is green. It means that the market has warranted buyers to take a hold of the market for now, right?
Yes.
So in the past, that gives us the probability.
I love this one because it's like, let me go logarithmic to really highlight it. But I mean, look, the COVID, there's no doubt every market suffered the COVID drop, like stocks, crypto, Forex, no doubt. Everything got a huge shock when COVID happened. So if you can sort of see past that, you can see that, yeah, we bottomed out in 2018 for the alts, right? And yes, there was a push because of COVID. There was this flash crash that went down beyond that. But if you can look through that, you can see that there was a low here that was very much a higher low. It got bought up. If COVID didn't happen, if you can just smooth the chart out a little, maybe it would have looked something more like that. Like that. I think that's not outrageous to suggest that if COVID didn't happen, we were on some kind of path to like doing this. But yeah, either way, look, the structure's there. Like it was higher lows, if you ask me. It's anomalous, an anomaly, as Jolt would say. But yeah, look, even this time around, look, we don't have a black swan that happened recently, so we don't have that nasty dip. I mean, the thing about black swans is you don't see them coming, but for now, this is the information, this is the facts that we have to deal with. We've got 3 lows, all technically higher than the previous, which is really cool. We're coming up and meeting a point of resistance, and we are making some progress there too. We're getting wicks above it, which is good. That's a good start, breaking down the walls. But yeah, this is the last hurdle before a really nice push, I think.
I'm gonna break down your walls, Ricky.
Oh, what's happening, Sammy?
Just fucking took some profit on Biddy.
Oh yeah,
little itty bitty.
Nice, yeah. Look at that. That's a really nice hour candle.
Yeah, they've been doing these crazy spikes up and down, man, all day. Like every.
What are they, Sammy? What are they doing to you, Sammy? What are they doing to you?
I don't know, man. They're playing games.
It's classic.
They're trying to fuck you up, aren't they?
Yeah, they're trying to take my money.
Y'all watch your language. Don't demonetize Rick. Don't blow his YouTube up, man. Come on.
In my stream setups, they ask you, they're like, is this channel for kids? And you say no. Like, no, it's not for kids. Is it 18 plus? And like, yeah, I do tick the it's 18 plus. So you can say fuck shit, whatever you want. Say whatever you want. But
the last thing is it from Australia? And you're like, no. This is not from Australia.
So yeah, like, you know, F-bombs and cussing within reason. Like, you don't want to be saying it every 5 seconds, but yeah, it's not going to kill anything, honestly. All I get are copyright claims, not copyright strikes. Strikes are different. Strikes are if you're playing Beyonce music or like Michael Jackson, like something that is you know, owned by a label. That's when you get strikes. Claims, though, are when you play like royalty-free music, but they still want credit. Like they still want to share any of the income, so they'll claim the income, and I get a lot of them. Some of these songs that I play through my stream were at the time free, royalty free, copyright free. And I think now they're like starting to change. They're like, oh, my song's everywhere. I'm going to start claiming that, like getting some revenue off that. So, yeah. Maybe I should just not have music at all. Just voices. Can't copyright people talking.
Are you running that yet, or?
Yeah. What, running my stream? Yeah, my stream's been on the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know you're never there though.
Well,
yeah, I'm very
watching right now. He's got 30 people watching right now and 21 likes. So that means 9 people are lazy.
Yeah, smash up the like button if you wouldn't mind, guys.
But you're still doing better than B, right?
Oh, it's not a competition. I'm not trying to.
I know. I'm
trying
just
to measure.
though.
Yeah, you are saying. You are. Not me. I didn't say it.
I'm trying to make a funny joke, but it's not a joke.
I understand. I know. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Glanke. So
half hour.
What are we? 29 minutes away from the close. Get rid of this boring weekend action. Nah, B's cool. He let me stream out of his Discord. You know, when they did the adjustment to the rules of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
I think it's yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. So no, I'm not shorting right now. Kook, is that your name? Couk? Is that how you pronounce it? Kouk? Kook? Yeah, not shorting right now. I would, you know, where I would potentially open a short is if we come up to the vicinity of this high. Right, let's say price comes up and it just gets a wick, and then you get a candle close or open below the high. Like, that's where I'd be like, ooh, this is a short opportunity if it gets shoved back down after testing that high again. That would be a short. I think right now is very dangerous to open a short in the middle of nowhere kind of thing, because it seems to be gunning right now. There's no real evidence of the momentum shifting just yet. But yeah, you want a big you want a reason to short. You want a big fat resistance line or something, or a trend line at best, to go, hey, look, this could be a short. But yeah, make sure you're playing your shorts with a with a pretty responsible stop loss, because you're in an uptrend overall. Market is uptrend, right? Everyone's in bull mode. Until proven otherwise, like until we get, you know, a big shift on the higher time frames in structure, it's a bull trend. So this is a trend line. This is a trend of the highs, and that could cause rejection. That could cause a short. So we've got to be careful of that. Yeah, look, we're not far away from the end of the Sunday candle, so it's cool to see things are heating up leading into the closing of this day. And it feels kind of strange streaming with no music. I might turn it back on. Always get the levels messed up with the music and my voice. Let me know if that's too loud for you guys in YouTube land. Alright, I think you kind of have to track this on a lower time frame, this push, to see what's really happening. The 786 fib level on the recovery from this dump that we've had in the last a few days ago there. This is like the final hurdle, the 786 fib level. We beat that 618, which is really good. But now we need to beat this one. We need to get up above it and then do that push to the high and see if we can go back into, you know, price discovery for the year. It's not price discovery total, but like just for this year. Get like a new high. That would be cool. Can I check Chainlink? Yeah, man. Let's have a look at Chainlink real quick. Ooh, look at that. Okay, macro. All-time high. Bear market low. It's had a very poignant, a very, what would you call the word? Definite? Or there is a different word that I'm looking for. There's a rejection there off the 236 fib level, the first hurdle. Deliberate. There you go. That's the word. It's a very deliberate reaction off the 236 fib. Yep. definitive. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Yeah. Bitcoin. This is obviously a lower time frame. This is the hourly time frame, but you can see the activity off specific fibs. Like, look at what the 0.5 did. It rejected, it rejected, it rejected, it rejected. See, it's... Yes, there's a bit of activity through it, but that's just wicks, right? But yeah, look. It's pretty much... You can use those levels as something to gauge the market action, the price action of. And then look, not only was there reactions to 37k, like round numbers are generally reacted to a lot, but also that the 618 fib level here, if we break it down to a smaller time frame, look at that, bam, 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 like reacting. And now we're trying, but stalling at the moment. Not doesn't mean we've killed it, but we are stalling around the 786 fib at the moment. See if we can get it to break through and really shoot for that high. There's a fair chance that we will. It's more likely that we will test 38 than get rejected from here, but just let it bake out, see what happens. Oh yeah, back to Link. Yeah, chain link. Okay, there's that rejection. It has not cancelled Link by any means, this rejection. It caused a really nasty head and shoulders though, look at that. Look at the way that came up. You got left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline, something like that. Measured move, the bears would have targeted down here, but it's already come back above the neck. It's already invalidating this. So that's interesting. That would throw you off. And this is why chart patterns aren't guarantees. There's no, just because you see a pattern does not mean that it's guaranteed to give you the outcome, the textbook outcome. So be careful with them. But generally speaking, they're a good way to gauge, you know, a shift in direction. I think the problem for the bears was that Bitcoin has started lifting again in the last 48 hours. And that's why Link has had this change of heart, I guess, and it's starting to inflect back upwards. But look, it needs to get above that and that to regain market structure to the upside. So let's check the structure, by the way. High, low, high, low, high, low here. So we're just waiting on this to rally. So now that we've got that larger, so we're about here. Now that we've got that larger structure in mind, let's go down to the small time frame, because yes, there was a downtrend. Maybe the 15-minute chart is enough. Yeah, look. Okay, here's the substructure, because there's structure within structure. It's a fractal nature. Okay, you got a high, you got a low, a high, a lower high. Sorry, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So that was a downtrend right there. But then you had a little push to the upside, uptrend, but still back to the downtrending. And now we're back to uptrending. Like, that's market structure. But that is, yeah, that is the noise within the bigger swings. So this is what you would call swing trading. If you're trading like larger moves, like larger pivots. And the way that you identify swings is by not looking at the 1, 5, or 15-minute charts, but using the hourly time frame as your structure. Don't even click on the 15, 5, and 1 unless you're trying to nail an entry. But to swing trade, yeah, it's 4 hours, 1 hour chart with the daily and the weekly in mind. But usually your weekly sentiment, unless something extremely dramatic is happening, your weekly sentiment stays baked in to your mind day to day until you get a big shift. So you don't have to look at the weekly all the time, like every day. That you can pretty much get a feel. Okay, the weekly's bullish. We know that for the last 6 weeks or whatever. So daily becomes a bit more relevant, but yeah, look, for swinging, 4 hour chart. If you want to do swing trades, 4 hour chart's a good one. You can identify the structure of the 4 hourly quite easy. You don't get as much manipulation on the high time frames. You get a shitload of manipulation on 1 minute. So you have to really know what you're doing. That's like more advanced trading. Scalping is the hardest form of trading, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. But yeah, like if you want to make it easy on yourself and actually ride a position that lasts longer than a day, check out the 4 hour chart, check out the 1 hour, and just play it by that. AVAX is getting a nice push up. It's coming through an old resistance line. So there was a pivot high on AVAX back in February. Over here, that's what this yellow line is. And we're moving above that right now. There's been some wicks in the past few days above it as well. But now we're getting some candle body potentially to come up. So that could be the start of a really nice breakout for Avalanche. Link is kind of in a similar boat to Avalanche, where if we go out to the hourly, there's a point of structure above. So this high is what really matters at the moment. And you want to get above that. That's what's that's the writing on the wall at the moment. So if I didn't have a position in Link right now, and I wanted to trade to the trend on a higher time frame, I would be looking for a long with invalidation at this level here, because that's the low. That's the low that the most recent bigger swing low that we've had. So you wouldn't want to put too much leverage on entering up here because you're very late. You're very late if you entered up here, because the drawdown on that to get back to the support or back to the pivot low would be 13%. So you wouldn't want to mess with leverage too much, because you're looking at pretty nasty drawdown just to get your point of invalidation. So pay attention to this price as well, because that's a pivot. That's a pivot point right there. Let's see if I can get a price for you. That's $15.38, almost 39, so 15.389. Pay attention to that pivot. That's currently the price to beat and get on top of. And then the primary is up here, $16.60. If we can get above that, then it's, the game continues, the uptrend continues overall. But yeah, it's looking good. The trend is your friend. And it looks like we're going to get a green. We're at least getting a green rounding out to the day, to this weekend. Let's have a look at Rune. People are asking about Rune. RUNE. Rune had a really cool bull flag back here. Look at that. It's like textbook. Flag, breakout to the upside. Really cool. And bullish on Rune. That has not changed structure. It's still uptrend on the high time frames. Is that real? That's no surprise, I'm sure. The price to beat, the high to continue this trend, you need to get above $6.69. So yeah, play to the trend. It's actually in a really nice buy spot, Rune, to be honest. If Bitcoin stays green, if Bitcoin's light remains green or at least stable, then this looks like it could turn into this. Like, that doesn't seem too irrational to me. That seems quite normal to this trend that's happening. Stop loss for Rune would be at the low here. So I wouldn't want to be in a long on Rune if it gets below $5 and like $5.10 or $5.90. It just depends on your tolerances, like how tight you need your stop to be. If you're power scalping, like you're doing at 50x, 100x leverage, then you need your stops to be super tight, because the damage that drawdown can have on that amount of leverage, you lose a lot of money very quick if you don't know what you're doing. If you're not very good at trading like me, I'm not very good at actually scalping. That's why I've sort of shied away from it, and I'm more trying to catch swings and build my cycle plays. Focus on the cycle rather than, you know, the 1 minute chart, because you'll get chopped out. You just get wiped out on repeat. Every trade you take, you're taking on risk. If you're scalping, you're taking on risk multiple times a day. Are you that good that you can risk it more than 5 times a day? You know, can you put your money on the line 5 times a day and come out on top? If you can, hats off to you, because that's probably the hardest thing to do in crypto, is scalp and be profitable. When you're swing trading, you're making one decision every few days, or, you know, every couple of weeks. You're exposing yourself to risk less often. So your money is not being risked, but you're still opening yourself to opportunity for growth. So I think it should really be considered as a better way to participate in crypto is swing trading rather than trying to scalp. Like, you know, if you really want to scalp, just do both. Like, at least do both. You know, consider the swings or the building the big long-term positions, because, you know, there's a lot more damage control with that method.
Well,
what?
I mean, yes and no. I gotta say it, like, that's all risk tolerance and risk management at the end of the day.
That's right, but do these people have that? Do most?
I'm not saying people do. I'm just saying
that
the biggest issue, no matter what you're trading, doesn't matter if you're long, short, scalper, whatever the multi-day one is, and swing trading or long-term investing, it's all psychology at the end, and what's your risk reward, how's your risk management. That's the biggest thing, and that's the biggest thing for trading. Trade however you want to trade, but mindset is everything.
That's right,
and knowing your mindset, right? You don't like scalping personally. I don't like long-term trading personally, right? Like, I can't stand being in a trade over an hour. It bothers the shit out of me. Yeah. But you have to learn those things about yourself.
That's right. And look, you've got the advantage of experience. I don't think a lot of people in our community have experience to your level. So they have to be
Oh,
careful
yeah.
expecting to be scalpers on year one. You know what I mean? It's dangerous.
Yeah, you got to expect to just lose.
Yeah.
But that's where the biggest
learn
thing
the
is.
hard
It's psychology and mindset. You
Yeah.
can trade whatever strategy you want on whichever time frame for whoever up, down, left, right, corner, 50x, 100x.
Yeah.
It's all your risk management.
That's right.
Like you might risk 10 to 20% on a swing trade. Okay, well I'm only risking 0.1 to maybe 2% per trade on when I'm scalping.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Do you have those separations? It's different. You got to
That's
learn them
right.
and figure out which one you like.
Your style, like you've obviously got a lot of risk management at play, and that's not something to be. All I mean is, like, if you're casually involved in crypto, like you don't have a lot of experience under your belt, it's very dangerous scalping on leverage. Like it is like, if you don't have risk management in play at all, like you don't use stop losses, or you just sitting there with your fingers crossed, like that's a recipe for disaster. That's what I think. Yeah.
I mean, but it can be the same thing on the other side, right?
It can be, yeah. Totally.
If you hold on to that trade and it's the wrong day, see you later.
Right.
Wrong trade at the wrong leverage, you just got wicked out, or you just got stop hunted.
Yeah, I agree
and
with that.
Those longs that's sitting there, they know those longs are sitting in there, especially the market makers. This guy.
You taught me back in 2018. You told me you're opening yourself to risk multiple times, like the amount of times you have to open yourself to risk by doing, because I was explaining the 5% gains to get an account up to what, do you remember that conversation?
The compound, you're talking about the compounding, yes.
Yep. And you said that is almost impossible, and it is very hard to do that.
It's just hard to stay on track and then not, because of the outside factors, right? In theory, it is, wow, that's not that bad.
Yeah, on paper,
okay,
it's easy,
let's do that. Hell yeah. And then in practice, it's like, hey, about that, Bobby.
Yeah. You know? And then once you start getting sizable, you become a target, because you show up on the radar.
That's an even bigger.
Yeah.
That's an even bigger stress once you start getting size up.
Yeah.
Like once you get started, like say you have $100 as your size per trade, you get to 1,000, then you get to 10, then you get to 20, 30, 100. There's stress levels at every single one of those impasses on your way to get across the mountain.
That's right.
And a lot of the time you size up. Well, fuck me, that was a really bad week. It's time to size the fuck down.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be messing with leverage if, like, maybe 3x, 2x if I was
3, 5 maybe.
Yeah, if I was using huge money like shit, screw that.
I mean, look, if you want to look, a perfect example, maybe he's not the best example, but he is an example for everyone, is CryptoFace. What leverage do you see him using?
Like 7.5 at most.
Maybe in 2 or 2.5 all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's
he's bread and butter.
I'm not saying he has the money or he doesn't. Blah blah blah. Nothing like that. But if you had to take an example of someone who had big ball size, look at what he's using. Why is he using 100x, 50x, 200, 20, 30, 40? There's a reason.
He's a big cat. He's definitely, comparatively speaking to me, and I'm guessing to a lot of people in our community, he's a whale, like, in comparison to us.
I mean,
like, he's playing with huge money. Well, at least he's leveraging
from what I know about him,
positions.
Yeah, from what I know about him, he has the money. There are certain things that people say, rumblings and bumblings, but so far nothing's come out of fruition out of that, or nothing's been created out of the rumbling and bumblings. There has been some things, yes, but in my opinion, him specifically, he has addressed them appropriately. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the 19th. It's not the 20th, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, November 20. Dude, we are 24 hours away from 12 months past the bottom. How interesting is that?
Oh, from what's it called?
From the market low. Like the lowest price Bitcoin
It's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. 12 months. It's been 12
Anniversary?
months. Yeah, anniversary from the bottom. Yeah.
What?
So yeah, you can chalk 2023 up as a bull year. It's been a bull run. It has. People get all precious about the definition of a bull market, and that's alright. I understand. They're very, you know, oh, it's not a bull market. No, not yet. We have to get above 50 or something. You know, like it's like, what? It doesn't matter. Like it's semantics at that point to me. CRO. I'll have a look at Crow and then Gala. Rune is much like Link and that other chart we were looking at, where it's the writing was on the wall for its high, and we need to get above that high. But look, the trend is your friend, and we're on trend with those alts. Stop loss. Keep your stop loss real. Like you don't want to be riding this thing if it loses the floor. Like if it continues this, whatever this is maybe starting, you want to be careful, because if it continues to do this, you don't want to be riding that in a long. Like you want to stop it out. You know, you want to cut that and look for the bottom. Like look for a better entry. But let's check Crow out. CRO. I do want to catch the daily close though on Bitcoin, so give me like 5 minutes while we look at that. It looks like the 786 fib level on this smaller scale is proving to be difficult to get through.
Look at Bitcoin being beautiful. Look at it.
I like that it hasn't plummeted back to the beginning of this move. It's hanging up there so far. Because so many times you see these real fantastic, impressive moves, and then it just gets completely sold back. Like, I mean, this is kind of what I mean, but this is a higher time frame, I guess. Like, look at that. That's devastating. Like, up and down, down and up. Like, it's very whipsaw, you know. But yeah, I just want to see it hold some ground, like hold a level of support so that we can make some progress. This was good. This is what I'm referring to. Holding supports so that progress can be made to the next level. Because this could have chalked up to be like this. You know, why not? It did it a few times. Or even, like, if not down there, like even just here, that would have been kind of sucky. But it held supports, and we're now looking at the 37.5 level, right? That's cool. We're not far off that high. All right, there goes the daily.
Bang.
The weekly, big boy.
Yeah, and the weekly.
Look at that.
Isn't it Sunday? Isn't it the
Look
day
at the
of
dick.
the
Look
Lord?
at the dick on that
It
weekly.
is. Look at the dick on the weekly.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that buy pressure on the weekly chart too. Look at that. Look at that wick at the bottom. That is buy pressure.
Look at these altcoins trying to be bearish, you know? They're just bearish, man. The market is bearish.
Careful with your sarcasm. Some people don't understand sarcasm.
Fuck 'em.
My bad. The market is bearish, my friend.
If you just add a little sarcastic voice to it, I like it. That works.
Habibi.
Habibi.
This one, Habibi. This one.
Double meat,
Yeah.
double cheese.
I don't know, man. Momentum. Where's the momentum? I mean, I like this day, the 16th and I'm on the weekly. Momentum-wise, these 2 weeks here were really cool. The week starting 16th and 23rd of October. Damn. Nice. Nice momentum.
Oof.
Yeah, it could be one of those days. Oof. Early. So in what, about 12 hours from now, we're going to see how pre-market's going for the stock market to see if it's going to...
Yeah.
Roughly. Yeah, give or take. So, with
I
that
think
in mind...
I think it's called pre-market or some shit.
Yeah. With that in mind, it is at a very important level, the SPY. Like, it's approaching the highs of this year. The high being up here, but look, this level here is being tested as we speak. So yeah, it's not far. It'd be nasty to get a big old double top. That would be very painful. Double top there, and then rejection back down. It's possible, but possible, probable, two different things.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this stream up at least. Most people have sort of dropped back. Well, not most people, some people have dropped back. So we're down to 24 people. If you want to join and continue the conversations, guys, download Discord if you don't have it already. I'm sure most of you have it and are part of all the different channels that we float between. But go for gold. I want to see Bitcoin hold some of this progress here. I don't want to see it just give it all back, because it's like, ugh, it's such a big sigh. Let's do a fib retracement. What is it? It's like, if it's looking for support, I know that the 0.5's a popular spot. Like a big old double top on this short time frame here. It's a bit of an M. Alright, YouTube. We're still within the range. We're still playing games. So hopefully by next stream we have a bit more fun things to talk about, because it's been still kind of meh, isn't it? All right, catch you guys. Stay safe.